Hi, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. So thanks so much for attending today. I want to let you know that this recording and any earlier webinar recordings that we've covered are available from our website, Kognitos.com. Also, we have an active Q&A section, so feel free to use that. I'd like to also ensure that you're aware of our Record to Report webinar, which is planned for the 17th of October. Should you have any questions regarding this content or follow-up regarding webinars in general, please contact Joseph at the email that's been provided. So let's get started with introductions. I am Peter Cook. I lead customer experience for Kognitos. I've been immersed in advanced technology since the early 2000s, starting with BPM, then ERP systems, wireless technology, and then now automation and AI automation with Kognitos. I work in a role that requires me to really dedicate myself to my customers' objectives and ensuring that they're successful, and really thrilled to be in that type of role for Kognitos. Go ahead, Ashish, and say a few words about yourself.
Well, thank you very much, Peter. A very good morning, afternoon, and evening to the friends on the call. Ashish Singla. I head the finance and accounting practice and CFO transformations for Wipro globally. Been in this industry of GBS and shared services from last more than 25 years. And in these 25 years, I have played various roles from operations to transition and now doing practice in Wipro from last 15 years. Very happy to be here and looking forward to the discussion and sharing some of the thoughts we have on how AI and GenAI is playing the role in order to cash area.
Here we also have Samul Pandita that works closely with Ashish. Go ahead, Samul, and say a few words about yourself.
Thanks, Peter. Good morning, good evening. Thank you all for joining in today. Appreciate you guys taking out time, for this webinar. My name is Samuel. Overall, 17 years of comprehensive experience in finance and accounts industry. My expertise are in operations management, transitions, and business transformations. I've got a good amount of exposure to different verticals like CPG, travel, high tech, food services, to name a few. Currently, I'm associated with Wipro as O2C practice lead. Very happy to be in this role. My focus areas in this role are optimizing workflows, managing complex client engagements, requirements, and offering customized solutions for sustainable growth of their business. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Samul. Next, let's transition to, in case anyone in the audience is completely unfamiliar with Kognitos, to say a few words just to introduce you to the platform overall. So Kognitos is a next generation automation platform for AI-driven automation. So we enable enterprises to deploy, make use of AI to make smarter decisions faster. At the core of Kognitos is the concept of trusted AI. Now, this concept is rooted in the belief that AI should provide clear, auditable results that are expressed in plain language and used to create business solutions. The trusted AI concept comes from the core of Kognitos, ensuring that our customers can harness the power of AI in a secure and scalable manner. So Kognitos has prioritized delivering value for financial workflows for large enterprises. And as you can see, the platform comes with a large set of AI capabilities for these types of workflows. So these range from IDP to decision assistance, classification, and forecasting. So these capabilities are made available to accelerate the integration of AI across the enterprise. So finally, Kognitos is designed to support all common deployment models, which could range from cloud to even on-prem. So Ashish, would you also inform the audience a little bit about Wipro as a company?
Absolutely, Peter. Wipro is a known brand in the market. We are the leaders, when it comes to providing services in IT, BPO, consulting, and more importantly, digital automation space, right? We are the pioneers when it comes to AI. A few years back, we started and we came up with our own platform, which used to be called at Homes, and we have really grown bounds and leaps, since then. Um we from an overall standpoint, present in about 65 countries, and therefore we provide services in the IT and in BPO and consulting, digital automation areas to more than 1,300 clients across the globe. We have a large presence in Americas region. Europe is a very strong region for us, and of course, Asia Pacific. If you go, we have a large number of clients coming from that region as well. So market leaders in providing these services, and specifically talking about finance and accounting, we are one of the leaders recognized in the market, as the leaders, and we're providing these services for the CFOs of multiple organizations from last more than 20 years. And the topic of discussion which we have a very deep understanding and experience in that area, which is order to cash. And Sam is going to walk us through, some of the work which we have done in this area, some of the potential opportunities, which we see in order to cash, how we can bring AI and Gen AI or any other automation solution, which is relevant to life in these processes.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ashish. So let's look at our agenda for today. So we're going to begin with covering current state and opportunities. So order to cash as a process area has a lot of different spaces, and Samal will take us through some of those and concentrate on those in terms of what does best in class look like by process area. And as part of that, you'll see some of the metrics related to what can be achieved. Then Ashish will take us through a few of the success stories of transformation that they've been involved with directly and those associated positive business outcomes. So this is a trusted AI webinar series, and as such, we're now on our third, which is order to cash. We began with trusted AI to help all those companies out there that are seeking to pursue AI as part of their own portfolio and to achieve results that have never been available before. And also we provide those key questions that those companies pursuing that should ask. Next, we just covered procure to pay a few weeks ago. Again, these are all available on our website, Kognitos.com. And here we analyzed the purchase to pay process area, those opportunities, success stories, and stress the urgency of now is the time to get started, because in most cases, your competitors also already have. So today's topic is order to cash, and then in a few weeks, we'll also provide coverage of record to report. So with that, Samal, let's get started with diving into order to cash opportunities.
Thank you, Peter. What we want to present is the entire value chain of O2C. On the offerings, we have a double click of processes, right from order management to setting up customers on credit, billing processes, to collections, cash apps, and finally the reporting part of it. Now, industry is continuously validating this entire spectrum that we see for AI. By leveraging enhanced automation, and this is what we see in the market, by leveraging predictive analytics and optimizing workflows, these O2C processes have become increasingly mature. For example, today we have automated order entry. We have credit assessment happening on its own. We have e-invoicing. We have auto cash application modules, and then of course we get the reporting dashboard insights. We refer to industry benchmarks, and we see a positive movement for most of these metrics, and this can be attributed to these AI interventions. We see DSO is reducing year on year. We see billing to cash cycle is reducing, so it means cash is getting realized faster. Now, documents processed per FT has improved, and this all is because of these interventions. Now, one of the topmost AI features is to ensure an error-free process. And uh, let's quickly understand this with real life examples. Let's talk about credit management. Now, incorrect manual credit scoring can lead to bad debts. AI-driven models, which are available today, they can access customer credit worthiness more accurately and much faster. So AI can identify risks and set appropriate credit limits, reducing the risk of any defaults. Another one which makes a cut here is intelligent invoicing. Those highlighted in purple. Now, manual invoicing can be error prone. By integrating the order management and delivery systems, AI ensures that invoicing details match the order and delivery confirmations. Now, AI tools will verify invoice data against the PO and delivery notes. So this helps to arrest billing errors. Now, moving away from traditional invoicing, businesses today are leveraging AI to automate the whole process of invoice generation and approvals. However, the effectiveness of automation relies heavily on the accuracy of the original data input. And this is one call out that we wanted to make prior we deep dive into AI GenAI possibilities as we are moving forward. Now, this one, we will touch upon the CFO priorities and trends that we see in O2C. Now, top CFO priority obviously is autonomous finance with cognitive solutions. There are others like enhanced customer experience. Now, by prioritizing CX, what companies are trying to do is they're improving cash flow and they want to retain their clients. Debtors today, they need flexibility in payment options. They prefer a text over a call. And companies are working hard in the O2C area to address this changing consumer behavior. With onset of digital platforms and UPI solutions like PayPal and GPay, AI is accelerating transaction processing, and swift payment options are enhancing the trust within this entire payment ecosystem. Now let's just touch upon quickly on the trends in O2C that we see today. The topmost trend is predictive analytics is driving proactive management. Cash flow remains the bloodline for all businesses, and this is where O2C becomes such an important business function. We need analytics to increase the accuracy of cash flow forecast versus the actual recognition. Now, we have solutions like real-time payment processing and digital invoicing, which can help us realize the improvement in cash flow. Next trend that we see is financial reporting. Now, reporting is done by leveraging AI. It generates real-time dashboards, providing accurate insights into O2C performance and thereby assists the business in making decisions. The last one here that we will touch upon is data security and risk management. With data being the new currency, data protection is non-negotiable. As AI becomes more digitized, companies are investing to secure technologies to protect sensitive financial data and mitigate risks, associated with the digital transactions. So next, we can talk about potential AI and GenAI interventions in O2C. Now, let me present our point of view first. So our view is workload shared between humans and machines will continue to evolve, but humans will stay, of course, at the helm. So the question can be, why are we so confident on the AI possibilities within the finance? Now, it's very interesting to recap quickly the journey of technical advancements in finance. That's our own domain. From paper-based AI management to Excel to digitalization, and I guess then RPA came in mid-2000s and was fairly effective in automating repetitive tasks. However, what's catching the client attention now is machine learning, AI and GenAI, and how we keep building the use cases and try and bring them to life. From available data today, O2C has 35% automation potential, which can be tapped. The future looks exciting. Finance will be the fastest adapter of GenAI. GenAI will allow finance people even to create machine learning models with zero dependency on other teams. Power of GenAI is it will enable finance users to use English as the coding language, and this is one of the features we have in Kognitos as well. So while machine learning will remain, mainstay, we expect GenAI to become mainstream in future. Now, let's just quickly pick up on, the straight through cash posting that we have mentioned. So 95% is achieved already. Now we are targeting other 5% using GenAI. This is an outcome of automated cash up processes. STP minimizes errors and accelerates cash registration. We are looking towards, accounts, towards, customer accounts being worked upon, obsoleting any manual interventions. Next is deduction predictions. Now, increased accuracy is achieved through machine learning. Why this is a unique solution is due to huge volumes of deductions that businesses receive and the complexities that they come up with. This continued learning process is fundamental to AI's role in enhancing, deduction accuracy much further. Now, collection efficiency, we have AI systems, help business optimize their collection efforts, segmentize and apply the best strategies to the clients, sharing statements, and that yields the best of the results. On this one, we'll talk a bit about O2C AI, transformation value and the business outcomes that are possible. So from a value creation standpoint, industry is continuously adapting to client requirements, and we will talk about machine learning and RPA and how GenAI is adding a layer at top of existing capabilities to provide those additional facilities to the client. Everything boils down to the value that we bring with our solutions for the client. Now, in a typical O2C business that we serve, we benchmark and we partner to deliver best-in-class O2C metrics. However, clients today expect us to oversimplify their processes further for additional gains, and this is where we expect AI and GenAI to play a huge role. Let's quickly look at certain AI solutions. For example, credit management. At a high level, credit helps you onboard new clients, and manage their credit limit. With risk assessment analytics, AI-enabled solution where customer segmentation into a risk category is determined by their historical payment behaviors, by their current financial position. We have external credit rating agencies, and inputs come from them. We use AI to continuously monitor credit risk and adjust credit policies. We request this to business to avoid any revenue, leakages. We can talk a bit on invoicing as well. We all know electronic invoicing is for delivering invoices, accepting payments, and AI helps to conform to the local guidelines, which keep on changing, and use certified supplier networks only. And also in the billing, we can schedule the triggers, as required by the business. On cash applications, we receive remittances, we receive payments. Now, we all understand, these could be in alternate formats. We can have, EDIs, checks. We need to go to client portals, emails, images. Now, the ability to capture all this data determines how much automation can be provided. Capture rate is driven by machine learning, and now there is GenAI data capture technologies, which are expected to significantly give us a higher capture rate. An AI-powered invoice matching platform will compare the payment details, such as amount and invoice numbers, to drive accuracy and speed for the business. In short, such AI interventions like dispute analytics, chatbot solutions, self-service portals, they all continue to bring efficiency and value. We have tried to outline a few of the value points at the bottom there. I'm sure you guys can see it. So this is where productivity gain range on each of the O2C processes has been given. Thank you, Peter. Now, moving on to collections management framework. This is what the governance model for that we work on looks like. People, process, and technology framework for optimizing AR, working in harmony to deliver the business impact. On technology, what we do is we integrate various systems like ERP, workflow, portals, and we use RPA, automation, to streamline these processes. We can also perform data analytics, and we see benefit, outcomes on the right with this framework implementation on efficiency and accuracy gain. So just to summarize, the GenAI value add is if number one, it could be GenAI will consume large data sets, but it will give us exact insights. We are being able to run queries for specific data points by leveraging GenAI. And obviously, it also helps draft responses accurately and quickly. Now, what we see on this one is reimagined state of collections. And let me take a minute to explain our present autonomous collections point of view, where we are saying that AI improves collection efficiency by automating work list, aging analysis, and helps to apply appropriate strategy. So team could focus on actual collection tasks. So I guess it's important to know that easy finance options and business uncertainties with massive default rate continues to drive this collection services market. And that's why we kind of thought it's a good idea to talk a bit about it. Now, let's look at some of the AI GenAI solutions in this futuristic model. Now, collectors have reported missing real-time insights as a challenge for them to be efficient. Now, this is due to data sitting in different pockets, and AI solutions help align ERPs, workflows, emails, bank accounts. They help with multiple data source integrations to address such a challenge. Scalability is another one, and this is another feature that we have in Kognitos. Certain businesses like travel and hospitality, they can be seasonal. And the challenge to manage their peaks requires a lot of capacity building, which is not feasible. Now, GenAI solutions like Kognitos has a scalability feature as a solution. Now, collectors report it's difficult to touch 100% of the assigned portfolio. Now, this is risky because it leaves room for revenue leakage and non-compliance to the policies. Now, AI solutions can work 24/7 tirelessly. They enable personalized communication for a debtor at a very high pace, making 100% account touch a reality. Similarly, we have automated notes capture as another feature, which will help us accelerate cash collections. And finally, analytics and dashboarding solutions, they are very important because they allow smarter collections by providing a view on customers, slicing regions and business units. They talk about revenue and give us a view on customer payment patterns, aging, and forecast, so business can make relevant decisions. The last one here that I want to touch upon is the deduction process. How do we reimagine it? Now, dispute management, we all can agree, is a tedious, error-prone, and labor-intensive exercise. We have business reporting they prefer not to contest customer claims since they are huge in numbers and deductions are complex to solve. This is to avoid employing manual hours required for deductions solutions. Now, this is an opportunity for us to drive value to customers using AI GenAI solutions. Let's spend a sec to understand how a deduction occurs, and what can be the different types. And then we will use an example to articulate how AI GenAI solutions can be helpful. Now, when customer disputes an invoice or he claims a discrepancy, a deduction is created. Basis reason, we can have deductions like damaged goods when they are transporting, SKU deductions, right quantity not received. We have compliance, early payments, discounts, incentives. These are all common types of deductions. Let's say client raises a dispute on quantity. Now, first step is to get information from customer portals or emails and pulling in claims. Next step is documentation, pulling the invoice, pulling the sales order, proof of delivery, and compare all of them to see where the item, has been missed. Now, integration with portals, emails, these assist getting the claim copies and proof of deliveries, bill of lading. Now, we are tapping the ERP as well to pull in invoices and sales orders. Now, this is a use case where we are comparing the exact number of items on an invoice versus sales order versus claim and proof of delivery to identify any gaps. Now, this kind of omni-channel solution for deductions management uh, is possible, with AI, where data collation, prioritizing a claim basis its value, and any kind of analysis is possible. Uh, the value for client that we can deliver here is the AI GenAI ability to process and combine huge sets of data and to come up with a validity on the deduction, you know, uh, to be able to make a decision quickly. On the other hand, reducing the manual effort on investigations, paperwork, email traffic between teams, and accurate fact basis analysis adds more value to this whole concept of AI Gen AI being leveraged in deductions management. I hope it was helpful. Back to you, Peter, please.
Great. So Ashish, we just went through many different areas for which AI could be applied throughout order to cash. Could you speak to some of the transformations that Wipro has been engaged with and some of those associated positive business outcomes?
Absolutely, Peter. And I guess, Sam, that was very insightful. Last 15, 20 minutes to go through deep into what are the opportunity areas where, for example, in billing, how we can resolve the billing related issues, how we can give predictive insights, into the reporting and what are the different trends. You talked about predictive analytics, as one of the trend. And I guess on the revenue side, on the sell side of the organization, these are the areas and opportunities, whether it is billing, it is dispute management, it is around collections, or creating insights, are very relevant opportunities to look for, right? And the transformation stories which we have within Wipro, and if you look around as well, in different organizations, customer side as well, what we see revolve around these areas. As an example, we work with a US based energy provider who was having issues with non-payment by consumers, right? And there was a solution which was required to preempt and predict the non-payment by the customer. So there is a predictive analytics solution, which was required, and through our solutions, which is led by the AI and Gen AI algorithms, we collect the data. We collected the data on the payment history. We collected the data on the reasons of delay, the mode of payment, disconnection history, because this was an energy provider. There was a lot of disconnections. What is the history of that? And we developed a predictive model, around that, to point out, how the non-payment or how the payment pattern can occur for a customer, right? So collecting the right data set, and data, of course, is very, very important in AI and Gen AI kind of a solutions. But collecting the right data set, running these predictive models on that can provide you certain patterns and kind of a forecast where you can see how the customer is going to behave when it comes to payments. We created an impact by this solution where there is a reduction of 13 days window as far as the non-payment was concerned, because we were able to take a lot of actions based on that predictive analytics. So it's not only prediction which you are providing, but you are also providing a lot of insights and actions to your order to cash teams per se. Another example I would like to take, for uh, for a European B2B and B2G technology innovation leader. Um, in last few years, they had a very sluggish demand, and which has taken a toll on their revenues and how the revenue is growing. It has taken a toll on the free cash flow and the margins and the overdue invoices. So again, we through our solutions in the AI and Gen AI, and of course, given the time, we cannot go through the details of all what is, but understand the problem statements. We are talking about cash flows. We are talking about overdue invoices. We are talking about revenue growth impact because of the sluggish demand. So there is a lot of analytics, which is required through human efforts. It's not possible, but with the introduction of the AI and Gen AI models, which we can create, all this is possible. We identified, as a part of that project, the issues contributing to uncollectible or the overdue invoices. We followed an end-to-end order to cash transformation journey, right from order to fulfillment to billing to credit collections and so on and so forth. We designed and implemented a relevant automated controls to ensure correct billing. Now, transformation in any of these process areas is not only about introducing AI and Gen AI, but looking at stepping back and looking at the processes also. And that's the reason this is also termed as the next industrial revolution, with the advent of AI and Gen AI, where we are really looking at the processes. Are the processes right? Do we need to redesign that, so that my AI solutions can work in this particular area? So I can't just throw these technology solutions blindly at them. In many cases, we need to step back and see how I can redesign, and that's exactly what we did for this particular customer, where we design and implemented the controls which were required to ensure a correct billing. So rather than just throwing technology, we looked at what are the controls which are missing. We gave an improvement of about 70%, from an overdue standpoint. The balance reduced millions of dollars in terms of benefits, and close to 99% of the invoices are collected in the same month. So that is the impact which you can have if you analyze the data, redesign your processes, and of course have the right data, for these AI engines to work. So I want to leave some of these, couple of these case studies with the audience to think about and see whether they have similar cases, maybe in their environment, right? Or in their experience, if they are facing similar kind of challenges, and apply the principles which we adopted, from a Wipro standpoint, Peter.
Yeah, great. So Ashish, thanks so much for sharing those success stories with us. And as part of with Wipro and the transformation initiatives that you provide to your clients, you can work with any technology. Could you provide some insights to this audience about why Wipro would choose to work with Kognitos as it pertains to applying an AI strategy?
You're right. I mean, as an organization, as a organization with IT legacy and pioneers in the AI industry, we work with multiple partners. We have our own solutions in many cases, but we do work with Cognitos, and there are certain things in our experience, in this process value chain of order to cash. There are certain areas where Cognitos has very strong capabilities, and I would like to call out some, in terms of processing, where the large amount of effort goes. If you look at any process, as an example, cash applications, 70% to 80% of the effort, goes in applying cash, figuring out what is the exception, why there is an exception, what is the root cause of that exception, right? So exception handling in certain cases is managed by Cognitos very well. So we can automatically figure out the relationship between different transactions. We can also relate it with the payment pattern. We can also do analysis at an account level and see where do we need to apply a cash, or how collections can be done, right? So all that analysis and exception handling is done very well with Cognitos. Another important point which the GBS industry or a shared service industry or a BPO industry per se faces is about losing the knowledge, documenting the knowledge, and losing the knowledge. So I believe, one functionality which I have noticed, while working with uh, Cognitos as a platform, is that it creates a corporate memory. What it means is that it documents the knowledge, it documents the step, the way it is performed, and that knowledge is never lost. So really, in a shared service environment where um, every customer is unique, every process is very unique, every industry is different. This corporate memory comes as a very, very valuable tool where you can have the knowledge within the organization and you don't have to worry about people leaving and dependency on a particular resource and any dependency on a tribal or a tacit knowledge which they carry, right? So I believe that is one very important aspect. You can replicate a specific automation across the globe amongst the various business units. You don't really have to rely on or depend on coding, recoding, right? Like some of the automation solutions do, because they are a little bit rigid. I believe AI brings that flexibility when it comes to replication of the AI engine, and Cognitos has done that pretty well for us. And finally, I would say reporting is an important aspect. All the platform provide reports, but what I've seen in Cognitos providing is adoption rate, how we are able to adopt and utilize this platform in different processes, whether my adoption rate is 20% or am I as high as 90-95%, right? It gives you health of the process, it gives you value which has been created by adopting this particular technology. So I think very unique reporting which can come out, and you can use this reporting and really enhance the penetration and gain more and more automation. So these are some of the aspects, Peter, I would like to call out, and maybe we can get our audience can get a glimpse of some of these functionalities when you show this live as well today.
Yeah, absolutely. Really appreciate that, Ashish. And so now we'll be able to provide a bit of an overview, actually go into the Cognitos platform, and today we'll be showing the cash application process. So this will begin with a remittance that's received via email. That remittance comes in the form of an email attachment. And Cognitos will be used to extract data from that remittance upon receipt, and then extract data from an ERP system, and then perform reconciliation to notify users with the reconciliation results. So we'll now proceed with looking at the process within Cognitos. And one of the first things you're going to notice is that all content is written in natural language so that everyone in the organization could follow what the process does. We're getting a file from an email attachment, then the file from an ERP, and we're extracting that information, then comparing it and then ultimately emailing that reconciliation results. I'd also like to show you how Kognitos can visually represent that process flow using process flow visualization. You can see the process begins with input processing, and we also have SAP data being extracted. And finally, that data being aggregated and reconciled, with the results being emailed to business users. Now, I'm going to proceed with initiating the process, and I'll do this with an email with an attached remittance. And note that the process could have also been initiated via an API call. So now you'll see that the process has been initiated. We're starting with an email. So let me go ahead into the exact same email that was processed earlier. And on the left, you'll see the natural language code was running and the outputs are on the right. So all data is being logged. I can click into a file that's been provided to Kognitos and click on those values and see exactly where that data is being extracted from. So in like manner, I can also look at the SAP table data. You'll see also a number of steps are taken to reconcile the values when we create an output table that will be sent to business users. So if there is no mismatch, then there's no need to notify a given business user of the results. But should the data, in this case, we are providing that application cache application process was successful, where all data was reconciled, but it could certainly be optional to inform the business user of that where this is the case. So now, okay, now we're going to dive into that exception center. And in the case when we design that experience to enable business users to resolve exceptions that are using their own subject matter expertise. So in this case, Kognitos is asking to help find a number, and we could have done that by writing in that number. But instead, here, we're going to apply a learning. And in this case, that learning's been applied. We can see the results. And now the user can choose to always use this answer for that process. So that's part of that business subject matter expert applying their knowledge to that given case. And anytime that exception occurs, that warning will be applied. Now that's a method of how your business users can continually drive operational efficiency, and you're able to systematically store and apply their subject matter expertise. So with that, we'd also like to encourage you to take the next step to learn more. So provided is information on how to get in touch with Kognitos for more information, to follow up with questions or additional content. Also information for Wipro, our close business partner. And we really want to see you be successful, achieve your goals. We know the boardrooms are asking customer leaders or client leaders to really apply and pursue an AI strategy and vision for their company to achieve their targeted results. So we have 2 minutes for any questions, and I am seeing one here that I'll ask for Ashish and Samul, and that is like, what series of tasks in the order to cash process area should be prioritized for AI? So I think part of that is we covered a lot, and so they're likely looking at like, where should we start? Are there any quick wins? Could you respond to that, Ashish and Samul?
Absolutely. Let me take a stab at that, and maybe Samuel, you can add. Um, the areas, which we were talking earlier, if you really, rewind and go back 30 minutes, what Sam was talking about in terms of the areas of opportunity, in terms of the trends where the most of the value lies, I believe, look at those areas. I mean, you can start either ways. You can start at the areas which can create most value for you, things like billing and disputes. You can start at the areas which are more transactional for you, which can be cash applications. The demo, Peter, you just showed, I believe, is a very, very relevant demo. While it automates the manual task, but at the background, I believe it's doing a lot of triangulation of data. It is analyzing the data and making sure that is more efficiency which can be brought in. So depending upon the objectives, which you have, I believe you can start from anywhere, whether it is transactional work, as I mentioned, like cash applications, automate that, get the gains in terms of productivity and efficiency, or start with billing. There, the value is different. Your billing error goes down, which impacts your disputes, which impacts your collection cycles, and of course, cash application. It creates value for you. It's a longer cycle. It's more data to be processed. So again, wherever you are in the curve, where you are more ready or less ready with the data and the kind of effort you can put in, you can start from either transactional cash applications or more value driven, which is billing and disputes, which is, percolating down to the downstream processes as well. Sam, any inputs you want to add to that?
Yes, Ashish. Since you spoke about the larger ecosystem of it, where I believe we should be leveraging AI is on predictive analytics and dashboarding reporting, because these are required in the entire value chain. So there is potential to tap.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ashish and Samal, for joining us today. I think we're exactly on time or close to it. Thank you very much to the participants, and we hope you really, were able to learn and are inspired to take the next steps and look at these areas and spaces and technologies to pursue your AI goals. Thanks so much.
Thank you.